time we are using Microsoft Word to type some text, as well as at the same time we are using some Excel sheet because we want to compute something, and so on. It is also possible that we are using some any programming language also. So there are different applications. All these are the applications or application software we are running. In that case also, our system or our machine also maintains a queue. So it serves the request in the manner of first in first out, right? So these are some applications of one more application we can see, that is if you are calling on a customer care service, particular customer care service. In that case also, uh, you that particular system is maintaining the queue, right? So the person or the client or customer who is calling first will get the service first, and accordingly. So it is also first in first out application, or FIFO application, or FIFO representation. So you can also identify some more applications also. It is up to you. So there are some of the applications are listed here. The first is in computer system to maintain a waiting list of for single shared resources such as printer, disk. So it is possible that we are using a multiple resources. We are using a printer, we are using a scanner, at the same time we are using some other resources for a particular computer system. In that case, CPU or our machine is maintaining the queue application. Then second one is it is used as a buffers for MP3 players, iPod playlist, and so on. So for running application softwares, our system is maintaining a queue. And the third one is the CPU scheduling in multi-programming and sharing systems. You are having an operating system course. In that operating system course, we will identify different scheduling algorithms and how these scheduling algorithms are work. So it is also in those scheduling algorithms, operating system is maintaining a queue. The next real-time application is a call center phone system that will use a queue to hold people calling them in an order until a service representative is free. One more application we can add, that is about a reservation system. Then we are having a handling of interrupts in real-time systems and some kind of simulation. So there are n number of applications of queue. You can write any 4 applications, and every application carries only 2 mark. Sorry, every application carries half mark. So this question is very simple, and you can easily list down the applications of queue, right? We will move ahead to the next part. There is some issue with this. Now we will see, that is how the linear queue is represented, right? So we have seen it, okay, how the stack is represented. Similarly, now we will see how the linear queue is represented. So there are two ends for particular queue. The first one is the front end, and the second one is the rear end. So insertion is always from the rear end, whereas deletion is always from the front end. So there are two pointers associated with the queue. So now we will understand how this particular linear queue is represented, and then we also understand it, that if we want to solve particular problem, we are given with set of elements, and then we want to insert these elements, as well as we want to delete some elements from the representation of linear queue. So in the last session also we have seen some problem. Similarly, on the same lines we can carry out this. Once we see this particular part, in afterwards we will see how the circular queue is represented, and how the elements in the circular queue are inserted and deleted. So we have to see both the things, okay, step by step. Okay. The same question is here also. Define queue and state any two applications of queue where queue can be used. So queue is an order collection. If you identify here, then queue is an order collection of items. It has two ends, front and rear. Front is used to delete an element, whereas rear end is used to insert an element. So same thing we have seen it. Queue has two ends. The element entered in the first in the queue is removed first from the queue. So it is called as a FIFO list. Right. So here it is represented. And then these are the applications. We have seen it. Same applications we have seen it. Okay. You can list more applications also. Okay. And we have discussed these applications. Right. Okay. We have already discussed this difference points between stack and queue. We have already discussed this linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Okay, so we will see this part now. That is, describe queue full and queue empty operation conditions on a linear queue with suitable example. We first discuss queue full condition. Right. So queue full condition is checked when we want to check whether queue is in an overflow state or not, and we will check the queue empty condition when we want to check whether our queue is in an underflow condition or not. For a particular stack, we have already discussed what is stack underflow and stack overflow. Similarly, for a queue also, we will identify what is queue underflow and queue overflow condition. Right. So here it is mentioned. Okay, when queue is full. A queue is full when its rear pointer points to max -1 position. So this is very important. So consider that we have represented a queue in this manner, and the size of the queue is 4 elements. So array size is 4 elements. So elements starting at index location 0 and ends at index location 3. So this is nothing but 0 to max -1. So max is the size of the array or size of the queue. That's why it is max -1. Array starts from a 0th index, and it ends at the size -1. right. शून्याला स्टार्ट करतो आपण अरे मध्ये आणि साईज -1 ला थांबतो. इथे साईज म्हणजे काय, मॅक्स व्हॅल्यू आहे, म्हणून आपण काय करतोय 0 ला स्टार्ट करतोय आणि मॅक्स -1 पर्यंत जातोय. सो एलिमेंट्स आर इन्सर्टेड फ्रॉम द रियर एंड. सो इनिशियली in last case I have told you how to use this particular representation, right? So I will repeat it. Okay, those students who have not attended or who have not seen this particular part, right? So there is some issue with my laptop. Okay, but I will tell you. So initially front and rear value is -1. In the last session you have seen it. Okay, so you can go back to my previous session and you can identify. So initially when q is in empty state, front and rear both pointers at a -1. Okay, now we will insert a first element. First element is a. I want to insert a. Then that particular case, rear as well as front both pointers are incremented by 1. Okay, that is a special case or a starting case. Both pointers should be incremented because both pointers are -1. Now front is incremented by 1, front becomes 0. Rear is incremented by 1, rear becomes 0. So front and rear points to 0th index location. So at this location an element is inserted. Element inserted, that is a. A is inserted in an array or queue. Okay, queue is created by array only. So we can call it as a queue or we will call it as an array. Okay. So front is equal to 0, rear is equal to 0 and element is inserted, that is a is inserted. Now we want to insert a next element. In that case, for a insertion we are incrementing rear pointer, we are not incrementing the front pointer. So keeping front pointer as it is. Okay, I have told you in the last example, right? So keeping front pointer as it is, we are incrementing a rear pointer. So initially rear pointer is 0, now it becomes 1. So front equal to 0, front as it is, rear is pointing at a index 1 and element B is inserted. Now again we want to insert the next element, then again rear is incremented, rear is equal to 2 and element C is inserted. Again I want to insert one more element, then rear is incremented, rear is equal to 3 and element is inserted. Now rear reaches to index 3. If now you want to insert any element, okay, if you want to insert a E as a element in particular queue, then it is not possible because rear already reaches to a size -1 or max -1 position. Size of the array or size of the queue is 4, so you can insert only 4 elements starting from index 0 to index 3. So 4 elements are inserted. Now if you want to insert an element, it is the 5th element, it is not possible to insert, right? Because it is prevented by using this particular condition, that rear is pointing at max -1 location, that is 3 location or 3 index value. That's why it is not possible to increment the rear and it is not possible to insert a new element in particular queue. So the condition is a queue is full when its rear pointer points to max -1 position. Max is the maximum number of elements in a queue and rear pointer is not equal to max -1, then a new element can be added, right? So if rear equal to 2, for sake of okay, if you consider that आपण या आधी फक्त 3च एलिमेंट इन्सर्ट केली आहेत, तर त्या केस मध्ये काय असणार आहे, रिअरची व्हॅल्यू काय असणार आहे, 2 असणार आहे. ओके, सो इफ रिअर इक्वल टू 2, so rear is not equal to max -1, rear is less than max -1, 2 is less than 3, then there is one more vacant place is available in a queue, so it is possible to insert an element. But when rear reaches to max -1, now onwards it is not possible to insert new element in a given queue. So if rear pointer is not equal to max -1, then new element can be inserted or can be added. If queue is full, then new element cannot be added to a queue. So same thing is represented here. So you have to describe it by using this particular example. Here in this case max equal to 4, first element is stored at 0th position and the last element is stored at 3rd position. In the diagram it is represented, rear is pointing to max -1, that is 3rd position, so queue is full. Similarly here it is also represented the queue empty condition, exactly reverse of it. When will be queue is empty? When front is equal to -1, then queue will be empty, or rear equal to -1, then our queue will be empty. So if you consider the same case, then now you want to delete an element. So when you want to delete an element, you want to delete an element from a front end, right? So front is currently at 0 index. So when you delete an element, a is deleted, then front is incremented by 1. So now front is pointing to 1. So the a element is deleted. It is a dereference, right? Then again the b is deleted, means front is incremented by 1. So it is pointing to location 2. So it is pointing to C. Again you want to delete C element, then front is incremented by 1. It is pointing to index 3. So only one element is available. Again you want to delete the D element also, then you can delete that element, and you have to check whether front is equal to rear or not. Yes, front is equal to rear. It is matching, right? So you do not increment front pointer now onwards. When front and rear are matching, only last element is present in the linear queue, and when you delete this last element, front and rear both pointers must be -1. ज्यावेळेला आपण फ्रंट आणि रियर एकाच ठिकाणी येतो, त्यावेळेला त्याचा अर्थ काय असतो, फ्रंट ज्यावेळेला या 3 कडे येईल त्याचा अर्थ काय आहे की ही सगळी एलिमेंट्स आपण डिलीट केली आहेत. आपण ए ला डिलीट केलं, नंतर बी ला डिलीट केलं, नंतर सी ला डिलीट केलं, त्यावेळेला आपला फ्रंट पॉइंटर कुठे आला, रियर कडे आला. रियर आणि फ्रंट पॉइंटर काय झालं, एक झाले. आणि आता जर आपण जे लास्ट एलिमेंट आहे ते जर डिलीट केलं क्यू मधून, तर क्यू मध्ये काहीच राहणार नाही. मग अशा वेळेला फ्रंट आणि रियर दोघांच्या व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला काय करायला लागतील, रिसेट कराव्या लागतील. कोणाला रिसेट करायला लागतील, -1 ला. कारण क्यू एम्प्टी कधी असतो, ज्याला फ्रंट आणि रियर व्हॅल्यू काय असतात, -1 असतात. ओके, म्हणजेच ही केस येईल, फ्रंट इक्वल टू -1. इथे रियर पॉइंटर दाखवलं नाहीये, रियर पॉइंटर दाखवायचं असलं तरी पण तो -1 असणार आहे, बिकॉज nothing is present in a queue. Nothing is present, no elements are present in the queue. It is nothing but our initial condition. Both pointers, front as well as rear, both pointers are -1. So they are -1. So same is represented here when front pointer points to -1 position. When front pointer is -1, one cannot delete any data from a queue. आता queue मध्ये काहीच डेटा नाहीये, त्यामुळे त्याला डिलीट करता येत नाही. तेव्हा महत्त्वाची गोष्ट अशी आहे, आपण ज्याला स्टार्ट करतो एखादी ॲक्टिव्हिटी, एखादं ऑपरेशन स्टार्ट करतो इन्सर्शन किंवा डिलिशनचं, त्याच्या सुरुवातीला फ्रंट आणि रियर पॉइंटर -1 असतात. म्हणजे ती डिफॉल्ट एम्प्टी कंडिशन असते. आपल्या क्यूची डिफॉल्ट कंडिशन असते जी एम्प्टी असते. सुरुवातीला क्यू एम्प्टी असतो. नंतर आपण क्यूमध्ये आपण एलिमेंट्स इन्सर्ट करत जातो. त्यानंतर काही काळाने असं होऊ शकतं की आपण एलिमेंट जी इन्सर्ट केलेली आहे ती एलिमेंट्सना काय करतो, डिलीट करतो. म्हणजे त्यानंतरच्या काळामध्ये सुद्धा आपण क्यूला एम्प्टी करू शकतो. ओके, असं जरुरी नाही फक्त इनिशियल पोझिशनलाच फक्त क्यू एम्प्टी असेल, राईट? ओके, तुम्ही 2 तास क्यू मध्ये एलिमेंट इन्सर्ट करत गेलात, पुढच्या 1 तासामध्ये एलिमेंट डिलीट करत गेलात, मग ते 3 तासानंतर सुद्धा काय असणार आहे, आपला क्यू एम्प्टी असणार आहे. आणि अशा वेळेला जर आपण एलिमेंट डिलीट करण्याचा प्रयत्न केला, क्यू एम्प्टी असताना एलिमेंट डिलीट करण्याचा प्रयत्न केला, तर आपल्याला काय मिळणार, एरर मेसेज मिळणार. Because it is a queue empty condition or queue underflow condition. नाव बदलली आपण, क्यू अंडरफ्लो म्हणतात काही जण, काही लोक क्यू एम्प्टी म्हणतात. सिमिलरली तिकडे काही लोक क्यू ओव्हरफ्लो म्हणतात, क्यू फुल म्हणतात. ओके, नावं वेगवेगळी आहेत पण काम तेच आहे. ठीक आहे, तेव्हा सुरुवातीला आपल्याकडे क्यू एम्प्टी कंडिशन असते, ती डिफॉल्ट असते, पण नंतरच्या काळामध्ये सुद्धा क्यू एम्प्टी असू शकतो. ते आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे, प्रोग्रामॅटिकली क्रॉस चेक करायचं आहे. सो दीज 2 कंडिशन्स आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट अँड सेम इज एक्सप्लेन in this particular answer, right? We will go forward. Right, so now this is the C program to insert an element in a linear. Okay, until now we haven't discussed any program because we are not conducting the practical sessions, but now onwards we will start this particular discussion because it is also very important. We don't know how long this particular online activities will be going on, so that's why we will start that discussion also. So this is a write a C program to insert an element in a linear queue. Okay, now onwards we will at least try to see those programs which are repetitively occurring in our question paper. So this is for a linear queue. So it is very easy. It is a C program. Initially we are having these packages, so header files. In C it is called as a header file. So stdio header file and conio header file. So standard input output and console input output, you know about it because in the last semester we have seen C programming subject. Those who are not familiar with these header files, okay, get familiar with it. You can use any resource material and get familiar with it. You can use your previous semester books also, okay, everything is given there. You can get familiar with it, right? The next one is the hash define, n equal to n5. Okay, so by using this hash define, we are making a we are assigning some value to particular variable, and it is a global variable. It becomes a global variable. So n equal to, so n we are using for the size of the queue. So then within the main function we have created an integer array. Name of the integer array is q, and n is the size of the array. Okay, we will see all other variables also. So front is familiar with, front is known to you, front equal to 0, rear equal to 0, and we are starting this particular part, that is q using array, right? So here three operations are carried out. First is the insertion, second is the display, and a third one is the exit. Okay, here we can add one more operation also, deletion also, but this is a very initial program, that's why only three operations are considered. And in the question also they have asked C program to insert an element in a linear queue. So we only write a code for a insertion in a linear queue. We don't write any code for a deletion, right? So now this part is very important. We are using printf statement and q using array. So message is displayed. Then we are again using printf statement, and we are giving options: 1 for insertion, 2 for display, and 3 for exit. So user will select 1, 2, or 3, any one option from these three options. So consider that user has selected option 1. Then we will go to a while loop. So while loop, okay, is having a ch. So it is an integer variable. It is a integer variable. So if you are giving option 1, then accordingly it goes to a particular case. We are using a switch case here. If you observe this particular, so until and unless this particular ch is 1, okay, it is a true. So initially ch is equal to 1. You can observe it. Initially ch equal to 1. So while of 1. While of 1 means while loop is true. While loop is true. So we will go inside a loop. Okay, then in this case we are there is a printf statement, and it says enter the choice. So user is entering choice, his or her own particular choice, that is 1, 2, or 3. Consider that user has selected 1, that is the insertion. Then it is under the ch variable. Then we are using a switch case, okay, and ch is equal to 1. So we go to a case 1. If user is entering 2, then we go to a case 2. If user is entering 3, then we are go to a case 3. So we are using a switch case here. In the last semester we have seen it, what is switch case. But important thing is that within a while loop we are using a switch case. This is the speciality. This is the speciality, right? So if particular user is entering a case 3, then we have to exit the application, we have to close the application. So directly we are calling a exit function. So this is the inbuilt function or predefined function in C. We can directly use it. Exit of 0. Exit of 0 means we want to terminate our program. We have to close the application, right? So this is very simple case. Directly I am using it because it is very simple case. And we have to add one more case. In switch case it is necessary, that is default case. So if case 1, case 2, or case 3 any choice is not selected by the user, or user has selected wrong choice, Okay, instead of 1 2 3 user has entered the 10 or 15. That is a wrong choice. In that case you have to move towards a default case. That is a wrong choice. Please see the options. So there are some users who are not familiar with this particular switch case, then they will enter wrong choice or wrong answers, wrong options. In that case there should be a mechanism. So mechanism is created by the switch case, so you have to use the default case also. Now we will go to other cases. Consider that user has selected case 2. So case 2 is for a display, so we will move towards, in a switch case we will move towards case 2. In a case 2 we want to just display the element. There is a no requirement of insertion of elements or deletion of elements. आपल्याला काही इन्सर्शन करायचं नाही किंवा डिलीशन करायचं नाही, आपल्याला फक्त डिस्प्ले करायचं आहे. आता डिस्प्ले करत असताना आपण काय करणार आहोत, पहिल्यांदा आधी क्यू मध्ये एलिमेंट्स आहेत का हे आधी चेक करणार आपण. We have to check it whether elements are present in the queue or not. If queue is already empty, then in that case there is a no need to display any element, right? So we are giving a message here, printf queue elements are, and then we are checking whether front is equal to rear or not. Okay, if front is equal to -1, suppose if front is equal to -1 and rear is also equal to -1, in that case front is equal to rear. So it is nothing but our queue empty condition. So we are first checking it. If front equal to rear, this is the equality operator. This is not a assignment operator. There are two operators. When we want to assign some value to a variable, we are using the assignment operator. But when we want to check particular condition, we are using a equality operator. Right, so this is the equality operator I am highlighting here. Okay, we are checking it whether front is equal to rear. If this case happens, then queue is empty. Else if this particular part not happens, means there are some elements in the queue. In that case, now important thing is that if you observe our last example, if you observe that particular last example, then it is very easy. That's why I have taken that example first. Okay, I will draw here so it is convenient for you. Wait for a second. Okay. If you observe this particular part, in the last example we have used it. There are 4 elements in the queue. These are the elements. First is A, then B, then C, and the last element is D. And the indices are, because size of the queue is 4, so indices are 0 to 3. So 0 to max -1. So front is at this position. Okay, we have seen it in the last question. And rear is at this position. Now front is not equal to rear. Front is equal to 0. So in this case front is equal to 0 and R stands for rear. So rear equal to 3. And in this case we want to display the element. Right. So if you start from index 0, okay, then and you have to go up to index 3, then all elements can be displayed, right? So if you observe it, if you start at index 0, you can go up to index 3, then all elements can be displayed. So you have to start at index located by the or indicated by the front pointer, and we have to end at index located by the rear pointer. आपण फ्रंट पॉइंटरने ज्याला ज्याला रेफरन्स केला आहे तिथे आपण स्टार्ट केलं पाहिजे आणि रिअर पॉइंटरने ज्याला रेफरन्स केला आहे तिथे आपण एंड केलं पाहिजे. Okay, so our loop must start at a front pointer, ends at a rear pointer. That is very important. So same is represented here. So we are using a for loop, right? So I equal to I initial condition is I equal to front, then I must be less than rear, I plus. We go up to rear. Actually it must be I less than equal to rear. It is not I less than rear, because we go up to rear. Okay, and then we are having a printf condition. So there is a small correction. So in a for loop, for I equal to front semicolon, I less than equal to rear, and I plus plus. So we are using this printf condition %d. It is familiar to you because it is an integer element. So we are using a %d as a format specifier and q of I. So initially q of 0, then q of 1, q of 2, and q of 3, and then we are using this particular /n, okay, to separate the elements. So I think the case 2 is clear to you also. Okay, now we will go to a case 1. So case 1 is for a insertion, right? Case 1 is for a insertion. For an insertion, we will check it whether our queue is full or not. If the queue is already full, then in that case there is no need to insert any element. No need to insert it. And how we will check it? Whether value of rear is equal to max minus 1. Instead of x, we have to use max minus 1. So there is a small correction here. We have to use this condition. Okay, we have to use this condition that if rear equal to r equal to max minus 1. Now in a program, to represent the size of the array, we are using a n. If you observe it, then r equal to n minus 1. Instead of max minus 1, we have to use here n minus 1, because in a program we are using n. If you observe it, okay, n is the size of the queue, so it must be a n minus 1. So if this happens, then queue is full. Otherwise queue is not full. We have to we can insert an element. So enter number or enter value, and then we are inserting it. Here we are inserting in a scanner. Okay, I think this idea is clear to you, how the elements are inserted, how the elements can be displayed.